Hello, today I'll be installing 90-degree valve stems on a motorcycle. I already did on mine, but I'm going to do on my brother's. This is how they look now. And it's right there. There's a 90-degree valve stem. And this is how my brother's looks. Like that. So when you go put air, it's kind of hard to put air because it's right here. But now it's going to be right here, angled. So you basically will need 2 clamps, a valve stem removal tool. You can get this on Walmart. You'll need, this is optional, but I like to use it, thread locker. You'll need a 14mm ratchet. And here are the 90-degree valve stems right here. I got these on Amazon for $15. You get 2. Okay, so I'm using the valve tool removal tool and I'm unscrewing the valve core inside. Here's the valve core right here. So we just removed it from here so to get the air out of the tire. And this is it right here. We use this side. Okay, now we're gonna break the bead on the tire. So from the rim, we're gonna break the bead. You can see all the air's released. So now we're gonna use these 2 clamps to break the bead. All right, so you can see I grabbed 2 clamps. I put it right against this side is against the rim. My clamps have like a rubber protector, so it's not gonna squish the rim. And this side, I put it right on the edge of the tire where the rim lip meets the tire, and I start pressing it. And you can see it broke the bead from the rim. And here's the valve stem right here. That's the valve stem. Now I'm just gonna cut it with the knife and start putting on the new one. All right, so I took a razor. There's the razor blade right there, like a knife, and I cut the valve stem on this side. So here's this piece. This was right here, like this, and the other one was on this side. So I just cut it, and that's it. So now I'm gonna take some rubbing alcohol and a rag and wipe this off so it can seal good. Alright, so I took some rubbing alcohol. It doesn't matter what percent, just whatever. And just clean it off, clean all the dirt where the valve stem, where it's gonna seal. Alright, so I grabbed the valve stem right there. I put some red thread locker on it. I mean, I recommend putting a blue one. The blue, but I don't have the blue one, so do the red one. That's what I have. So, and then I'm gonna grab a nut. This is the nut, and you're gonna go like that. So, start doing it out. Okay, so you can see we put it right against the rim. So make sure it's pressed right against the rim. And then the nut, you're gonna be tightening it. And make sure this thing stays straight. So you might have to hold it with your right hand and tighten it with your left hand. And hold this so, because you see it spins, make sure it's centered where you want it to be. Also, I'm putting it on the right side, so I'm putting it away from the chain. So the left side has the chain, so I'm putting it on the right side. So I'm facing it to the right. Okay, so I was able to tighten it. I mean, you can see that there's not a lot of room to play with, but you still be able to tighten it with a 14 socket. It still goes on there, and you can tighten it really good. And you can see I got it tight and it's straight how I want it to be. So now make sure everything's good before you release the clamps. So I'm about to release the clamps and set the bead back. So yeah, I'm gonna release the clamps right now. All right, so make sure you like massage it back into place. And you can see it didn't go on a bead yet. So once we put the air, you should hear a pop, and that means your bead was set. So I'm about to do that right now. All right, so I'm going to be using this this air gauge to put air. So let's do it out. So I'm going to put it on the valve stem. Okay, and now he's going to put air in it. You have to hear a pop. Okay, let go. I want to see it. He's already at 6 psi, so keep going, Alex. All right, we'll just keep putting air in it until you should hear a pop. Okay, so the bead, I couldn't pop the bead, it didn't want to get seated. So I removed the valve core from here, and I took the clamps again, and I compressed the tire again, and I took some rubbing alcohol, and I lubricated the bead quickly, and then I did it one more time, and it finally popped on. I'm going to try showing you on the front tire. So this tire is done. I just got to put the valve core back and put some air in it. Alright, so I put the valve core back, and now I'm just going to put some air in it. It's 42 for the rear tire. That's its on bed. Alright, so I have it at 42 right now. So yeah, make sure the bead is seated. So you can see there is no gap. If you have a little gap here, that means the bead is not seated. Alright, so for the front, it's basically the same thing. I forgot to mention, you might need bike stands. I have bike stands right here. I have the rear and the front, so my front's up too. So it's good to have a motorcycle stand. I don't know if you can do it without it, but since I have it, I'm going to use it. So do the same thing. We'll remove the valve core inside. Alright, we're removing the valve core again. This is for the front tire. It's basically the same thing what we did for the rear. Alright, so I took 2 clamps again. You could use a C-clamp, but these are nice. And I put it right where we're going to work on the valve stem. And you can see it's about to pop off the bead. So I'm going to keep pumping it. Boom, you see it got popped off the bead. So now I might reposition these batters so I can see the valve stem batter. Okay, so I repositioned this so it'll be like in the middle like this. So now we're cutting the valve stem out. Alright, so basically same thing. Clean it with rubbing alcohol. Make sure you even clean it in here too, all the dirt, so it can seal good. Alright, so do the same thing. I was able to tighten it with a 14 long socket ratchet. I was able to tighten it. I know it's like close to the thing, but you can still tighten it. That's how it looks. So now I'm going to put some rubbing alcohol right here before I release the clamps. So I'm just going to smear some rubbing alcohol around this whole bead. The whole bead, so maybe it'll make it easier to go on the rim. So I'm releasing the clamps. So try to massage it back on. And now we're gonna put air in it. Also, try not to exceed like a lot of PSI. So maybe stay under 20 PSI. If the bead's not seating, try to lubricate it some more. So I'm gonna try right now. I'm about to put some air in it. Like, again, you have to hear a pop. Boom, there you go, just pop, and that's it. And now you can put the rest PSI, it's 36 for the front. All right, so now you can see the valve stem's right here, and it's easy to put air in. We don't have to mess with it when it's straight up. So yeah, again, just lubricate the bead. I mean, you could try water or Windex, but since I have rubbing alcohol, just put some rubbing alcohol on that, and the bead will just pop on. So make sure it pops back on the rim. And that should be it for the video. Okay, so this is how it looks now. So you can see when you put air, it's right here. You don't have to play with it when it's straight up. It's on a 90 degree, and this is 90 degree CNC motorcycle aluminum valve stems, and these are in black. And I bought these on Amazon for $15, and you get 2. I'll post the link in my description. Yeah, so now you can just put air here, here, so whatever the tire is at, you can actually put air, and it's not going to be in the way. Same thing for the front. It's right here. And I have these motorcycle stands right here. I bought them on Amazon too. I think they were $70 for 2. But I don't know if it's optional. I mean, you could try doing it without the stands, but I recommend having stands. It's much easier. And then you can do other maintenance on the bike with the stands. And that should be it for the video.